You don't need to spend long around a gathering of voyagers before somebody raises scuba plunging. It's the ideal movement for heartfelt excursions, daring exploring trips, family occasions, and everything in the middle. Figuring out how to plunge was something I generally needed to do. It opens up an entirely different universe of investigation. Investigating the puzzling profundities, you'll discover coral reefs overflowing with life, intriguing fish and vegetation, astonishing wrecks, and a totally different appreciation for the delicacy of our seas. Regardless of whether you're simply a beginner hoping to begin or a veteran looking for new places to investigate, here's a rundown of the absolute best places on the planet to go plunging. Number 1. Barracuda Point, Sipadan Island, Malaysia. Mass of coral where sharks come cruising by and barracuda encompass you. You are insured to see enormous stuff here and loads of it. Incidental solid flows impact over a submerged grassland that is home to white tips, turtles, grouper, jacks, bumphead parrotfish and obviously the barracuda that give it its name. Number 2. Blue Corner Wall, Palau, Micronesia. An upwelling implies this magnificent divider plunge is supported by pelagics. Hope to see sharks, barracuda, hawkbeams, Napoleon wrasse, snappers, jacks. If you can tear your eyes from the fish, the divider has thick coral with morays, nudibranchs and mantis shrimps being only a couple of the attractions. Look at costs of a Palau trip. Number 3. The Yonggala, Australia. The Yonggala is a wreck off the bank of Queensland. Loaded with marine life, you may see manta beams, ocean snakes, octopuses, turtles, bull sharks, tiger sharks, billows of fish and terrific coral. The Yonggala sank during a tornado in 1911, murdering 122 individuals, a racehorse called Moonshine and a red Lincolnshire bull. She had no message offices, thus couldn't be cautioned of the climate ahead. In 1981, the Yonggala was given authority insurance under the Historic Shipwrecks Act. The boat is 90 kilometers southeast of Townsville, 10 kilometers away. Structure Cape Bowling Green. 109 meters in length. The bow focuses north and the boat records to starboard. Check the costs to plunge the Yonggala. Number 4. Thistlegorm, Egyptian Red Sea. A huge wreck which needs a few jumps to do it equity. A British vessel, the Thistlegorm, Blue Thistle, was assaulted from the air and soaked in 1941 while conveying a payload of war supplies, rifles, engine bicycles, train carriages, trucks. Flows can be solid, and in various headings at the surface and at the disaster area. Think about costs of Thistlegorm trips. Number 5. Shark in Yolanda Reef, Egyptian Red Sea. 3 makes a plunge. 1. Anemone City, Shark Reef with its marvelous drop-off and the disaster area of the Yolanda. Flows make this useful for float jumps and for pelagic fish. A mainstream plunge begins at Anemone City prior to floating to Shark Reef and its drop-off. Wrap up on the disaster area of the Yolanda with its payload of latrines. Discover a cost for live aboard visiting Shark and Yolanda Reefs. Number 6. Manta Ray Night Dive, Kailua, Kona, Hawaii. Submerged lights put on the seafloor draw in boundless measures of tiny fish, which thus pull in the enormous, yet delightful manta beams of Kona, Hawaii. The beams get so near you that you frequently need to move to keep away from them unintentionally hitting you. An incredibly brilliant and life-changing time with perhaps the most delightful creatures on the planet. Number 7. Extraordinary Blue Hole, Belize. Profound, wide, opening laid out by coral reef and possessed by sharks. Is there another site like it? 30 meters perceivability coming over the bathwater warm reef of energetic tones, plummeting into a cool, dark blue opening where the water starts to falter and gleam as you enter the change from salt to new water at around 15 meters. Watching the colossal fish and other pelagics jump into the opening to clean themselves as you momentarily eliminate your octopus to taste the new water. At that point, plunging another 25 meters to investigate the stalactites and stalagmites of antiquated sinkholes. Analyze costs of Belize plunging trips. Number 8. USAT Liberty, Bali, Indonesia. This disaster area is mainstream with photographic artists as it is completely encrusted in anemone, gorgonians and corals. Search for the hawksbill turtle, which for all intents and purposes lives on the Liberty, and intriguing little stuff like the delightful purple scorpion leaf fish and ornate ghost pipefish. Bigger fish you may see there incorporate great barracuda and flapnose ray. The disaster area is very separated, however you can go in the load hold. You jump it less for the experience of wreck plunging, yet for the breathtaking sea life. Generally plunged from the shore, the Liberty is likewise on some live-aboard itineraries. Number 9. Richelieu Rock, Thailand. A pony shoe of rough zeniths, simply breaks the surface at low tide. Popular for whale shark sightings, yet additionally extraordinary for large schools of pelagic fish like jacks, barracuda and batfish. Mantas are likewise seen, and it is a brilliant spot for macro photography with so much animals as phantom pipefish, harlequin shrimp, frogfish and seahorses. Flows can be solid. Needs a few jumps to see the entire territory. Best jumped from December to April. The amount to jump Richelieu Rock? Number 10. Naval Force Pier, Western Australia. Expanding 300 meters from shore. The T-formed construction is 300 meters wide, including 2 peripheral dolphins stages for bigger boats to tie up to. Albeit an exceptionally characterized and fairly conservative site, you could go through 5 days plunging there and not be exhausted, especially around evening time. On any jump there are loads of nudibranchs and flatworms, eels, woebegone and white-tipped sharks, octopuses, lion and scorpion fish, stargazers, and the typical more modest finned companions. Now and again you'll go over totally enormous beams napping in the sand.